Hello everybody, Mr. LEGO Lover 55 here, and welcome to another LEGO set review. Today we're taking a look at set 75117, Kylo Ren. This set is recommended for ages 8 to 14 and has around 86 pieces. So here on the front of the box, we've of course got Kylo Ren with a little background scene from The Force Awakens. I've got LEGO Star Wars logo at the top, set info right there, LEGO buildable figures logo right there, as well as the Disney logo, because Star Wars is a part of Disney. Picture of Kylo Ren here, which looks pretty awesome. Star Wars logo again. Here on the back shows all of the play features, as well as advertisements for some of the other Force Awakens Constraction sets. And that is pretty much it for the box. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open this up from the bottom using this thing. Just cut the tape. Like so. There we go. And open it up and dump out all pieces. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Now everything's out. Okay. So we've got a bag of pieces. I've got a bag holding the cape, or capes, I think. Or cloth pieces. Then we have a small bag of pieces and the instruction manual. So I'm gonna go ahead and build this thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is Kylo Ren all built up, and he is definitely quite an imposing figure. So I guess we'll start off with his play features, and now his main play feature is his gearbox action feature. So similar to the 2015 Toa and Kimu and a lot of some of the Skull villains from Bionicle G2, he has a gear function which, when you turn the gear on his back, his arm will swing back and forth just like that. And I feel this honestly works a lot better with the Star Wars figures than the Bionicle 2015 Toa, mainly because the weapon, if it's like a weapon or like a staff made of just like a couple of like Technic axles, then that means if just in general, if the weapon's a lot lighter, then the gear function usually works better, and the friction lasts a lot longer. So that's something that I definitely do like with the gear function on these ones compared to the Bionicle G2 set. So I think that works really well. But really, that is the only play feature besides posability with this guy. So taking such other details, I mean, of course, color scheme is black and I guess silver. You can see some printing on his torso there. Looks very nice and detailed. Just lots of little, just a lot of bit of a pattern there. Just, yeah. We got his head, which you can take off. It's his helmet. It doesn't have a head. It's just I mean, it is just a head, but it's not a helmet, so you can't take off like the helmet or reveal a face like the new Darth Vader figure, but you can't really expect that much from a figure like this. So one thing I actually do like about Kylo Ren here is that he has these shoulder pieces in black, and now a lot of other sets do have these in black, but Kylo Ren here has them just without any printing, and a lot of the sets that I've gotten that have these have printing on them, and K2SO's got a print on him, the Elite Stormtrooper pilot or something like that, that has a print on there, but yeah, it's cool to have just a set that doesn't have any printing on those shoulder pieces. That's nice. But yeah, he's got this red lightsaber here. He's got his famous triple-bladed lightsaber there with the three sort of blades, one of them being the main one, and then he's got these two tiny ones there. He only has one of these lightsaber pieces because he uses this sort of four-way cross-type piece for the hilt, and it only gives you one of these, and this is in a gunmetal gray color, so yeah, it's instead of a silver, because I think the Jedi figures use a silver color for that instead of gunmetal gray. In terms of new pieces and everything, Kylo Ren doesn't really introduce much. I think it's really just those non-printed shoulder pieces, the helmet, and I guess technically the capes, and then this is an exclusive print, I believe. That is my cat. But So you can see under the cape, even though it's already covered up, they do actually do a pretty good job at covering it up here as well. Looks very nice. Okay, I'm gonna just let my cat out really quick. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, even though the cape sort of covers up all the Technic stuff back here, they do actually have some Technic pieces that cover up the sort of torso. As you can see, they use these sort of Technic panels to do that, and yeah, so... And if you take the gear off and the head off as well, you can get a better look at what the construction looks like, just like that. And you don't have to have this cape on, but you do still get this sort of skirt piece, sort of cloth piece there. But you can get a better look at what his construction looks like there and how it's sort of covered up. And if you take off his torso, you can also get a better look at that. This is how this other cloth piece is attached, and I'm not exactly a big fan of that. It connects to his torso. I would have preferred if it actually went around his waist, but what can you do? So something I do like is that they reuse the Beast torso from Bionicle G2. So that is also so it's nice that they're still using those pieces. So. Very cool. And of course they're using the 2015 gearbox, of course, and they do sort of have this sort of piece that covers it up, which I think works really well. That is also how the head is able to connect, and it also just gives a lot more shape to the figure itself, which I think works pretty good as well. Yeah, overall, pretty good figure, although some things I'm not a fan of. I will explain that later, but for now, let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look here through the instruction manual. So here on the front, pretty much same stuff as on the front of the box. Here on the next page, it shows that if you're confused, you should organize your pieces. Buildable figures logo in different languages. Instructions, then the final product, our good old list of pieces, advertisement for some of the Force Awakens Constraction figures there, and again, advertisement for more of the Constraction figures, and that's about it. And I'll just say, it's nice to see this on the back of an instruction manual. I haven't seen that for a while, but I mean, this is a 2015 set, and I decided to get it at Toys R Us because I don't really see this set very often. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for the instructions. So overall, Kylo Ren here is a pretty solid Constraction set, and I guess I might as well go over some of my problems with him. So one of my problems is that I don't like the way they did the sort of skirt cape here. I wish they actually did it around the waist or connected it to the waist instead of just connecting it to the middle of the torso and then just hiding that under a breastplate. But I feel like that would have worked better, but this set was, I believe, I believe this set was released in the second wave of Star Wars Constraction sets ever, so, I mean, that's sort of something you have to expect with this. LEGO is still trying to figure out how the Constraction figures should be, and that's perfectly okay, but I would have preferred if it had been connected to the waist. Another thing that I sort of don't like is the general color scheme. It's just black, and that's pretty much it, but that is something you really have to expect with pretty much all of the Star Wars Constraction sets. They're mainly all just going to be one main color. There isn't going to be a whole lot of variety, and most of the Star Wars sets are going to either be black or white. There's some are orange, some are tan. There's just going to be very generic and sort of boring colors, and that's just something I don't really like with Star Wars Constraction sets in general. There are, of course, some exceptions, like Boba Fett I think is a neat exception, because, you know, sand green. And I'm sure there are a couple of others I'm forgetting about, but our main focus here is Kylo Ren, and his color scheme is it's sort of boring, I guess, but that is just to be expected when you've got Star Wars Constraction, I guess. Trying to think of something else that I don't like, but I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, no, I don't really think there's anything else that I really dislike about him, so I guess I should go over some things that I do like. I like the play feature, which is the gear function. I think that works pretty well, a lot better than the 2015 Master sets from Bionicle G2, so I think mainly that works better because of the lighter weapon. I, of course, love Kylo Ren's sort of three-bladed lightsaber. I think that's really cool. And I believe this was the first set to ever introduce this sort of Technic piece with, like, that has an axle connection and also a lightsaber blade connection as well, so that is also a pretty cool piece and very useful piece, and I'm pretty sure that's been used in a lot of mocks since this set was released. The capes are also a nice addition to get. You get 2 of them. Really, the only main one that I'm sort of happy about getting is this main one here. This one's sort of nice to get, but I don't know, the way they pulled it off here again, I don't really like so much, but I am glad that they sort of included it. And overall, I think that's really it. There's not really a whole lot of newer, interesting pieces that came with him. Really, the only ones were the printing on the chest plate, the helmet piece, that one Technic piece there, the cape pieces, and that's really all that was new. Maybe also the shoulder pieces. That's also a really cool thing to get. But overall, just very sort of... it's a pretty solid set. However, things like the color scheme, well, it's just, you're not going to get a whole lot of cool, I guess, armor shells out of this. So not exactly something I would recommend getting. So I wouldn't really exactly recommend getting this set for pieces, specifically just for pieces, but I'd say just as a display piece, I would recommend getting the set if you could still find it on shelves, or if you could find it on Amazon or online or something like that. But yeah, so this set retails for, I think, around $25, and I feel like that's sort of justifiable, but I don't exactly know for sure. I don't really know. I guess it is sort of, because it is sort of a main character, but I don't really know. But I don't exactly understand the pricing for these figures, because like some are taller than others, but they're the same price. Like K2SO, I haven't really compared K2SO to Kylo Ren here, but I'm pretty sure K2SO is taller than Kylo Ren, and they're the same price, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. Maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all I have here for Kylo Ren, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and keep building!